We want the relationship, we want the money. What do? We put it on a pedestal. We're giving our power away to it. We're literally saying, if I don't have this thing, I'm not worthy, I can't be happy, I can't be fulfilled. And then it's like, so of course, when you get the thing and you're already having those feelings where you don't feel worthy enough, you don't feel happy enough or whatever, typically whatever is going to come into your life is just going to amplify those feelings. If you already feel unworthy or you feel like you have to hustle or work so hard to get more, it's like as soon as the money comes in, it's not going to fix that feeling. If you already feel like you're lacking it and you have to hold on to it, the money coming in is just going to amplify that. I've literally worked with millionaires before, and it's like I've seen this pattern. They have millions of dollars in the bank account, but it's like it's never enough.
What's happening, everybody? We got Courtney Aragon in the house. Welcome.
Hello.
Holy mackerel. And we got your boy, Gabriel Maldonado.
What's going on?
Military veteran, by the way.
Ooh,
thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
My pleasure. It's an honor. Courtney, what is one thing that you know better than anybody else because of what you do?
That is such a good question. Better than anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
From my own experience? I would say that your intuition is the driving force of your life. And if you trust that, you can literally access a life that is limitless.
How do you know?
Because I have listened to my intuition, and I've also gone through periods where I haven't, and then, gotten myself in situations through that. But through listening to my intuition and learning how to hone in on that skill and really tune into the greater part of me, my higher self, I have made it to some amazing places in life and have gotten myself into some situations and opportunities far beyond my imagination.
Yeah, because out of college, you became a nurse.
I did. I picked the safe career, which was not the intuitive choice at the time, but.
Mm-hmm. And at that, how long did you do that for?
Almost a decade.
What?
I just left that career 3 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been in the game.
I was in the game for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you talk about this intuitive practice. When did you notice this about yourself?
Oh, geez. Ever since I was a little kid.
Age called a gift?
Yeah. And I didn't really understand it back then because, it just, my family didn't really know about that stuff or anything. But I was just a kid that was super sensitive. And then I would be having full-blown conversations with adults, giving them wisdom. And it's how the heck would I know any of that stuff? And then when I was in school, I would literally have full-blown panic attacks because at the time I didn't know what was happening, but I was picking up on people's thoughts and their emotions. And I would sometimes feel like I was dying and have to excuse myself from class to walk out of crowds of people because I would get so anxious. And I remember my parents taking me to doctors because, we thought something was wrong with my ovaries or my stomach. I would get super nauseous and stuff during these times. But looking back, I was just picking up on everybody else's stuff. And then I had interesting moments in life where I would just know things how would I know? I knew the exact moment my aunt died. And her spirit was contacting me for weeks before she even died because she had kind of estranged herself from the family and we didn't really know what was going on. And I just kept getting these intuitive hits of call your aunt, call your aunt. And then I was out at a house party one night and at 3 a.m, I just was I have to call her. And I dialed the number and she literally had just died. A nurse answered the phone. So it was just weird stuff like that would happen in my life. And then I would just get feelings or pulls towards things. And then sometimes I wouldn't listen. And then I would learn a hard lesson and I would listen. And if I did listen, then my path would get, just redirected to the right direction. So yeah, I didn't always understand this about myself. And I think that's why I went into the nursing career because I knew I wanted to help people. But because I was so overwhelmed by this gift, like I kind of just tried to like shut it off, you know? And I spent a lot of my 20s and in my nursing days, like partying a lot and stuff like that, just to like drown things out so I could be comfortable around people and just like kind of not have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it sounds like it is a gift.
Yes.
Yeah, because not everybody has these sensations that you're describing.
I would say that
Mm.
I would say everybody actually is intuitive. I really would. I think like it's not like we're all special in our own way, right? But it's not like, you know, this is something that I can't access that somebody else can't. Maybe I came in a little bit more tapped in or a little bit more sensitive because maybe there's been other lifetimes that I lived doing this, you know, who knows? But everybody has the ability to tap into their intuition. I've trained with a lot of women, a lot of people in my life who really didn't, you know, have the same stories I did, and they have learned how to train this as well. So it's just a matter of, you know, intuition is like a muscle. You can't just like, you know, it's one of those things you got to like train and build. You can't just like go to the gym one time, do a couple squats, and then it's like, all of a sudden you have like a nice butt, you know, you got to like keep building on it. Even me with, you know, kind of coming in here already having intuition, I didn't really know how to use it. Right. And I didn't even really know what it was. And so I'm still, you know, every day just practicing more and more and more and building my intuition more and more the more I use it.
So let's take the audience and educate them.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to teach them how to understand their intuition and how to grab control of that dial and amplify it or turn it down and just have a little bit more control over that. How do we do that?
Yeah, I would say the first thing would be understanding that your emotions are not your intuition. And so a lot of people will think they're making an intuitive decision when they're making it from a really emotionally heightened place. Like they'll get really excited about something or whatever, and they're like, oh yes, this is the thing. And then it's like, then they make that decision, right? And then a few months down the road, they realize, oh, that probably wasn't the right thing for me. I was making it from this emotionally heightened place. And people will do it with the other end of the spectrum of emotions too. So it's like, I'm sure we've all been in this situation where we're like really angry at someone or really upset about something. And we're like, I'm going to make this decision here, you know, and then you make that decision out of a place of like emotional intensity and it's not the right decision. So I would say the first thing when it comes to accessing your intuition is really becoming in a neutral place emotionally and like regulating your nervous system. And then also just kind of understanding how energetics works, how the universe works, because a lot of what your external reality, what's popping up in your external reality is kind of like projecting out what's happening within you. And your higher self, which is basically like what I'm connecting to when I'm using my intuition, is like it's always directing you to different situations in life to show you different lessons. And, I mean, it's like we could go down multiple rabbit holes with this, but
This is awesome.
I know.
Oh, it's so good. So the way I'm visualizing this is, okay, let's draw a picture to educate a 5-year-old here. Okay? You have a person. They're looking up at the highest version of themselves, right? But there's things that get in the way of that crystal clear vision, right? And to my understanding, you're able to help people remove that cloudiness.
Yes.
And then what happens once that takes place?
Beautiful, beautiful things.
What do you call it when that happens?
Their life changes. I mean, she's helped me shift my life. Justin, when did we start working together?
Gosh, it's been probably like a year ago, but I mean,
Life's changed so much since then. Absolutely.
I would say like when that happens, right? It's like you gain a sense of clarity, right? Like you can see, here's the thing, like intuition is only as good as you following it, right? So a lot of times like you'll move away the fear, the distortions, all these like beliefs and all these different things that typically get in the way of people actually accessing their intuition. And then you'll get the crystal clear answer, but it's often going to go against what your programming is, what your logical mind would say, right? Because our brains, our minds, our egos, they function in past programming. So they function on what they know is safe, you know. Also, we have like a subconscious that's got all, you know, the programming that we've picked up over our lives from traumas, from our environment, from everything else. And so that's kind of like where your identity is sitting. And it's a limiting identity, right? Where the intuition, the higher self, the soul, it doesn't really know limitation. It like wants to take you to a limitless place. And so you gain clarity, but it's up to you to be able to follow that clarity and to take those steps. And that's a lot of also what I help people do is understand like what are the steps to take, what's the fastest way to get there, and what distortions and beliefs and things are showing up in your creator field that might be preventing you from getting there. So
Whoa.
I know it's a lot. I'm not really explaining this in 5-year-old terms.
I'm just
That's why we have ChatGPT. Take the transcript, drop it in the chat.
drop it in,
Okay.
transcribe. So, is everybody ready for this kind of thing? Like, let's say somebody comes to you like, Courtney, you know, I'm stuck. What do I do? I want all these things. I want to live a life like this. And then all of a sudden they unlock.
Mm-hmm.
Do they ever turn back?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I've even done it. Like, I'm not perfect, you know? It's because it's like, it's fear, right? Like, fear really isn't real, but it feels like a very real experience to us. And what happens when your intuition is telling you something, when your soul is literally like driving you, like directing you to the next level in life, like again, you have this mind that's programmed from past programming that's not quite meeting you there. Like the intuition, the higher self, and the egoic mind are not speaking the same language, right? And a lot of that has to do with what's going on in the unconscious mind and everything like that.
Trust yourself to feel safe.
Exactly, right? Like it's all about, our minds are about keeping us safe, right? They've learned to survive. They've built these compensation mechanisms based off of survival, based off of what's worked for us before. But the higher self and the soul do not speak that language. They want us to ascend, to like reach new levels, new identity, new, you know, levels of being limitless, essentially. And so it can be like a bit of a disconnect, and really that's like the nervous system also starts to amp up, you know? And so a lot of times like people will get stuck in the fear and the contracted nervous system state, not realizing that actually that contraction is a part of the expansion that's supposed to happen. Our nervous systems are recalibrating, and then when they contract, they expand literally for more of our souls, more of the higher self to actually enter the body. But that's a scary feeling, right? Like you're literally like looking at your God self. You're coming closer to God and to being limitless. And it's like for a human with a mind stuck in past programming, it's like, it's terrifying. But like, it's not actually real. Like I said, fear isn't actually real, but it feels like a real experience to us. And so it's like when that's part of the work I do is like, yeah, your intuition, your higher self can tell you to do something and like jump off the cliff and do the thing. But like if your energy isn't right, if your creator field is still like, you know, stuck in an old identity, or if your nervous system is like reacting and not feeling safe, it's like we got to get that on board too, right? And we got to take the steps to sort of like shift the beliefs in the creator field, like get the nervous system into a good place. And then when you do that, like, yes, then you can start taking the steps to follow what your soul wants you to do.
Oh, man. Get a load of that.
I know. It's good stuff.
Shit, Maraji. I mean, I've been living it. Like Courtney says, we've been working for almost a year now, and I'll hit her with some challenges that I'm facing, and she's like, has me zoom out and really look, oh, this is like this challenge from this person has been a repeat in other people.
Yeah.
And I also came into their field as a challenge for them because we're kind of attracting each other so we can learn from that lesson. And if we don't, I'm just going to keep running into that challenge, and it's not going to help me get to my limitless self. So she's pointed out times where it's like, hey, you're doing this. And on the other side, that person is attracting you to learn this lesson until they learn it. So they'll keep attracting that situation until it stops, and God might be like, hey, let's throw it in there just in case, see if you really learned. Oh, you have? Okay, cool. Like, next thing, like you're done learning this lesson, you've learned it.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Those patterns, they're real, huh?
Oh, patterns are definitely real. I mean, we can come into this life with things from a past life, lessons that we need to learn, or, we go through certain traumas at a young age that, we take on these belief systems that show up as like distortions in our field. It's kind of what I call like the stone's throw event. So you'll go through a trauma, something will happen, and then you'll take on this belief of, okay, I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm just giving some examples. And then it's like, that's the stone's throw. The stone gets thrown out, and then every other thing that happens in your life that keeps reflecting that back to you is a ripple. And until you address that, like, you're going to continue to attract, relationships that make you feel like you're not good enough, situations that like, reflects this wound back to you.
Do you ever have any friends that they don't realize it, but they're dating the same kind of person in different bodies, and it's just,
yeah.
Well, what is the belief? What happened to them in their teen or childhood, teens, whatever, that made them think this is what I deserve, this is what I want, when it's really not?
Okay, I'm going to propose this question to y'all because we can remove money from the equation. And here's why. Out of the top 10 billionaires of the world, I think there's 13 divorces. So money definitely doesn't get you everything you want.
Oh, I could go down a whole rabbit hole with that. But
people want love, right? Well, okay, money doesn't get you that. Right? So let's say somebody gets to this state, they get everything they quote unquote want. What is it that they actually want? And how do they know that they're there? What do people want? What's it look like? How do you describe it?
That is a good question, right? Because a lot of people, they don't want the actual thing, right? When it comes to like money or relation, like most people would say like, yeah, I want more money, or, I want a relationship, or I want this and that. I want a successful business. But it's like, no, you actually just want the feelings that those things are going to give you. Right? So if you wanted a relationship, like you want to feel more love and connection, and actually the deeper soul want underneath wanting a relationship is actually to get to know yourself more and to actually come in contact with your true self. Because through the relationship, a lot of times, most of us actually want to date or be with people that are a lot like us, because that's more of a soul complement situation, because someone who's more like you that you're dating is going to be the most reflective thing to you. It's going to reflect literally who you are, and all these like patterns and beliefs and things that are holding you back from actually being, in touch with the truth of who you are. And so it's interesting when you dive in, like I do this with clients a lot. It's like, what's the human desire versus what's the soul want underneath, right? And when people want like a lot of money, especially like if you're someone who's like a leader or a light worker in the world, it's like you really just like want freedom and resource in order to be able to like, have that freedom and that spaciousness to like do more work in the world, right? With money, people, it comes freedom and all of that stuff. So the key to really actually getting the things you want, it's not the things that are going to give you that. It's actually knowing that all of those things already exist in your life, right? So there's this universal law called the universal law of fill. And basically, it's like if we perceive that there's like a void space in our life, like something's missing out of our life, like that can't be true. The universe always fills what we perceive to be a void space with some sort of energy. Okay. So it's like, if you feel like I don't have money, or I don't have love, or whatever, it's like, no, you already have all of those things in your life. You're just not seeing where they are. You're not seeing where the abundance is in your life, and you're not actually feeling into that frequency. And that's how literally you create your life and draw in all the things that you think you want, is by already being those things. And when you already see those things in your life, and you already like embody that feeling of having them because they're all there, it's pretty interesting. What will happen is you actually become detached to wanting the thing. Because when we want something, when we like feel, we put this thing on a pedestal, right? Like we want the relationship, we want the money. What do? We put it on a pedestal. We're giving our power away to it. We're literally saying, if I don't have this thing, I'm not worthy. I can't be happy. I can't be fulfilled. And then it's like, so of course, when you get the thing and you're already having those feelings where you don't feel worthy enough, you don't feel happy enough or whatever, typically whatever is going to come into your life is just going to amplify those feelings. Like money is a huge amplifier of things. Like if you already feel unworthy or you feel like you like have to hustle or work so hard to get more, it's like as soon as the money comes in, it's not going to fix that feeling. If you already feel like you're lacking it and you have to like hold on to it, like the money coming in is just going to amplify that. I've literally worked with millionaires before, and it's like I've seen this pattern. Like they have millions of dollars in the bank account, but it's like it's never enough. They still feel like they have to like hustle more and more and go after the next business venture or whatever. And like their relationships are suffering and other areas of their lives are suffering. And it's because they're literally creating, you can manifest from this place. Like you can manifest from a place of, you're feeling unworthy or hustling or whatever it is from your own inner wounds. But the things that you get in your life are only going to amplify those things. So why would you want to do it that way, right? You want to come from a place of wholeness and literally be the frequency of the thing that you want. Then you detach from it. So when you detach from it and you don't want it so bad, you're not literally pushing it away from you. Because there's a law called the universal law of opposing forces where it's like, if you go towards something, if you want it, if you chase after it, it's literally going to, you're going to repel it, right?
Sure.
Like, I mean, have you ever had this happen where it's like, maybe like, I'm just going to use like a fun example, like when you're dating someone, if someone is like coming out after you so hardcore, like imagine if a woman was like literally coming after you, like, and just like obsessed with you. You'd be like, no, but like all of a sudden when a woman's just in her power and she's just like sitting here like, whatever, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm interested. Like it's the same thing with anything that you desire in life. So that's why it's, a big part of the work I do and like, kind of lifting the veil and like really connecting you to your true self is realizing that you are literally everything that you want. Like you already have all those feelings within yourself and all of it already exists in your life. Like we live in an abundant universe. So
what's the methodology behind that? What is that? How do you explain that to somebody?
We just did.
We just did. Well, clarify. What do you mean by that?
Okay. So if we have, we're a person, we're like made of stuff. Yeah.
Made of matter. Yeah.
We're made of things, but you also tie in energy to our beings.
Uh-huh.
Where does it all start? Does it all start with the energy? Does it start with the thought? Does it start with the perception? Where does everything freaking start?
I think the answer is yes.
That's a great question. No, you could get me like geeking out on the scientific part of all of this all day. Like we are all energy, right? Like we are composed of atoms, subatomic particles, right? Like, I mean, when you put your hands together, like you're not actually touching hands. This is electrons bumping up against each other, right? And in order to like move and direct energy, you need an electromagnetic field. And so our brains have electricity because, our neural pathways are firing off with electricity, right? And so thoughts really they account for a little bit, but it's really our emotional state. So our hearts, where, our emotions are, like the electromagnetic field of the heart is 60 times stronger than even that of the brain. And so our emotional state is really what's creating our life. When we like have thoughts that are looping and looping and looping, repetitive thoughts, and then we attach emotion to it, that's literally what we're manifesting in our life. And what gets crazier is that most thoughts like just aren't even the truth. Like they're not. It's not. We're looping on thoughts that aren't even the truth. And then let's go a layer deeper. This is where it really gets crazy. Is that up to like over 90% of our thoughts are not even ours. Like, this is how intuitive we all are, is that we are constantly picking up on other people's thought fields. And we will literally, like, someone will be in the room. Have you ever like walked into a room and you're like, before you got in there, you're like, oh, I'm just in a good mood. I'm in a good emotional state. And then you walk into a crowded room and then all of a sudden, like, your thoughts are racing or whatever. Well, it's because you probably picked up on some person thought like 10 feet away who's really stressed out about something and like is like projecting out this really strong emotional field with their thoughts, and you're picking up on that energy and then assigning it to your own thoughts.
Or even just walking into a room, somebody could have their back to you and you can just feel it, like they could be sad, or just you're like, I don't know what it is about that person, but I don't want to be around them, or I don't like them.
Yeah.
And then it's not, you don't even need to know anything about them, but it's just them and you, and it's like, no. Or have somebody else that it is, I don't know, they just have really good energy, and you're just like, oh, I want to be around that person. Who are they? Like, you stand out in the room because of how your energy is and how you stand, compose yourself, and just even when you were still at the party and just there, I was like, I want to get to know that person. He seems like a dope dude, and
I want right. The dopest. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do have an energy about you. It's good.
Thank you. Thank you. Received. Wow. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Just getting so pumped right now.
We've been going down some rabbit holes. It's been great.
Oh, do you want to do a little intuitive thing?
Don't put me on the spot.
I look at you on the spot.
What? You watched Sword in the Stone? Have you ever watched Sword in the Stone? Have you?
I don't think Jordan says.
Side tangent. Have you ever watched Sword in the Stone? Well, why the heck not? Have you watched Sword in the Stone?
Sword in the Stone. What is that? I don't know if I've seen it.
Sword in the Stone?
Sword in the Stone. The story of Arthur.
Oh.
Merlin the Wizard. Archimedes the Owl. Come on, y'all.
Wait, I feel like maybe I have. Who knows?
Little cartoon.
Yes.
It's one of those epic movies. Didn't we watch it together? At Pete Ryan's house? Maybe. Come on, dog. Anyways. Yeah, so walking through this, Courtney, I'm a client of yours, per se. And I'm talking to you about my challenges, right? What does it look like to work with a client? Like, for you, what stands out to you the most? How do I explain this? What's at the forefront of your mind when you talk to somebody? And what does it feel like for you when somebody's presenting you with their challenges?
It just feels like I can see it as like this puzzle and these like little pieces that I'm trying to put together. And so when someone comes to me typically with a problem in their life, like I'm really just, I'm listening to the problem, and I'm also like kind of hearing things underneath the surface, right? Because they're telling me a problem, but then there's something, the truth that's going on underneath, right? And like their higher self will be talking to me and being like, that's bullshit. This is, and so then I'm like, I use different forms of intuition, but I'm like looking into their field, and I'm kind of like just in my own way, and I can like see a gap, and then I can kind of get visions. But then I also will talk to them, right? Because I found what I used to do with my intuitive work would just be like kind of like give people the answers. But what I've noticed now is like I actually like to implement more coaching and like get people in a really like heart-centered space and kind of like talk with them, open up the dialogue. Because when you just give people, say, this is your problem, like their ego is going to be like, okay, like they may not accept it, or they may know it, or who knows. But when it's like, when I can actually open the conversation with them, get them in a heart-centered space, and like start to work around their ego and get them to see almost some of their own solutions, and then I bring in their higher self to fill in the gaps, it's like way more powerful. Because to be honest, like, yes, I can, intuit information and stuff for you, and I do, but at the end of the day, it's going to be empowering when you can also find your own answers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great coach, helping people self-discover.
Yeah. I mean, it's what most coaches do. I just tie in the intuition and the energy work with it. So.
What are some common patterns that you see with your clients?
Oh, gosh. Honestly, everything in life, like, and this is even true for myself, like, I'll put myself under the bus here because it's an ongoing process for me, but everything comes down to some sort of self-image problem, which is how people are out of, like, self-image essentially is how you perceive yourself and how you believe other people to perceive you. And basically every reflection that you get out of life or any problem that you come across, like, pretty much every problem, like, it always comes down to some sort of self-image problem where people aren't seeing themselves in their full worthiness, their full power. They're not trusting themselves. They're, just feel, there's just so many different self-image problems. There's a few to name, but it's like, yeah, that is the common theme that I really see. People are really out of perception with the truth of who they are. And it's like these self-image problems and these beliefs will come up and they're not the truth at all. Like, they're not, right? But it's just the programming that we've picked up from throughout life. So it's like really getting people back into alignment with like how awesome they are, like how amazing they are. When you do that, like, you can do anything in life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's say somebody wanted to have a reset, right?
Uh-huh.
Like they're just so intertwined with their thoughts and the pressure of life and everything's just going like this. Like, I just want a fresh start. What do they do? How do they get a reset? How do they know they've reset?
How do they know?
How do they know?
They make a different decision.
What does it look like?
Yeah, again, you have to make different decisions than what you've been doing because clearly, like, again, when you're under stress, like stress, really the emotional root cause is just like feeling overwhelmed by life. And it's like, starting to dissect into that a little bit more. And then also just, again, I would say, like, how do I really define this? I would say that all of our problems that we experience, this feeling and all of this is all perception. Okay. It's all created by the mind, the mind that's functioning in the past, right? So we can actually shift our perception to any reality that we want at any single time, right? That's the craziest part about all of this. When I dive into people's like field, their creator field and everything like that, it's like it's always just a perception problem. It's not the truth, right? And so it's like truly, I mean, not to be like basic about it, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to realizing that everything that problem that's being created in your life is being created by your mind. Your mind and your nervous system that's dysregulated by these beliefs and these emotions and everything. So once you start to step outside of that, once you start to emotionally regulate yourself, do the exercises to regulate your nervous system, which really is not, it's just dedication, right? Even meditating, like doing these things that in an effort to like get outside of yourself, that's literally when your life changes because you're the one who's creating everything in your life. Okay. Everything that's happening in your life, you are creating. And I know it's.
I mean, and not to cut you off, but dating wise, for a while I didn't see it until Courtney helped see it, but I was just dating a lot of chaotic women, chaos would be created because that's just the norm that my younger self was used to. Chaos is safe. It's what I'm used to. It's what I know. Peace is not. So then the moment women that brought in peace came in, that was like, my nervous system couldn't handle that. It's like, this is too good to be true, or they're going to hurt me in some way because I'm going to let my guard fully down and be fully vulnerable. And then it's making a different choice to not let old patterns come in. Like I was able to be in these relationships longer than what I was used to in the past. But still see how, there's still some shifts to be made, that there's still that pattern of, okay, chaos and self-sabotage is my thing with dating. Like that I've gotten better at noticing and recognizing.
Yeah. And I would say too, like, sometimes in the healing spiritual world, we think we make things a little like too complicated. And it's really like when it comes to shifting your life, there's going to be the energetic, there's going to be the physical, there's going to be kind of like the emotional and mindset shifting. And so it's like, if in that example, Gabriel was just attracted to chaos or thought that chaos was, safe, he would have to like flip the script and prove to himself that the opposite was actually true and really start to emotionally connect to all of those things in life of how, what would the opposite of that be? Like, what was the belief that you had when you were in those situations? I know we kind of worked through this, but.
Oh man. Yeah, they're gonna hurt me, or they're gonna leave me, or they're gonna abandon me, cheat on me, whatever.
Right. And so there's like this abandonment wound there. So it's like you would have to like literally go, find micro moments throughout your life and your day of like how you're not being abandoned by the feminine, things like that. And just like prove to yourself, even in the smallest ways, right? Like, oh, this, woman came up to me, had a great conversation with me today, whatever, and start to like really emotionally connect to those moments and to, just shift your life and your reality in that way. And every time we have like a distortion in our field, like a belief or some identity that we're clinging on to, it's really about just flipping that script and finding an energetic ingredient, which is like a new belief system to root to like fill that gap in your field, prove to yourself that the opposite reality is true and really emotionally like connect to that and take the actions who are, of being in alignment with that new belief too, right? Because we can't just like mindset our way out of problems. We actually have to like take action in alignment with the new identity we're trying to embody, right? So,
yeah. What have you got to say about this? Let's say somebody does all those things and they are that person. They're not just doing; they're also being, right? Woohoo! And they still run into walls. They've got all the help in the world, all the support in the world. They are faithful. They believe in a higher power. They read the books. They don't do the drugs. They're super focused. What have we got to say about that?
Well, immediately what comes to my mind when you're speaking that is that type of person seems like they might be a little bit too self-critical. They may be a little too hard on themselves. Like I need to do all these things. I need to heal myself more. I need to do this and that, whatever. And if I'm not this perfect person, then so that comes down to worthiness. Like you feel like you have to do this, that, and whatever, but there's still a part of you that's beating yourself up for, if you were to like veer off that path or do something that maybe wouldn't be all of those things, right? And so that's really what it comes down to. When people are still running into problems, it's going to be some sort of self-image problem. Usually it's like they're beating themselves up about something.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's fascinating about that is Courtney went to one of her trainings, took a before picture, and then took an after, and it was a self-image part of her training. And not night and day, like holy shit, night and day, but it was just you could see that she didn't do much but just work on her self-image of how she much loves herself and all that, and it was just a different person. It was a shift, and no makeup and stuff. It was just like, oh wow, like you can see that there's a shift. And I've had clients where I've worked on them, I took a before picture and after, and their facial structure shifted or color came back into their skin, and they just seemed happier, like in the picture, like they weren't smiling. So I was like, don't smile. And I wanted to keep the images about the same, and you could just tell, like you just feel it and see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially to like summarize your question, it's like if there's still like, if you're doing all these things or whatever, and you're still facing problems in your life, like, and maybe they're showing up in your relationship or whatever, it's like, it's because there's still some part of you that's in misalignment with who you truly are, or in misalignment with, like, you are not like in perception of your own perfection. And that will be reflected back to you. So typically, like, what a lot of people don't realize about reflections is like, say, maybe you feel like you're doing all these perfect things in life, but in your relationship, you're still like feeling like someone's not fully committing to you, or they're not like seeing you 100%. Well, it's actually not about the relationship. Like, you're probably showing up perfectly in the relationship. It's showing you where you're not fully committed to yourself, maybe in another area of life. And I could see what you're thinking right now. You're probably like, but I am committed to myself. I do all these things. Well, you may not actually be committed to the part of your life where you're just allowing yourself to let loose and have fun. like passion, hobby, right? This is a huge thing that's been coming up for people is like most people I get caught in this trap too of this like spiritual wellness world of like, we got to be on, do, like so structured, like always healing ourselves and making ourselves better. But it's just like,
Where's the fun?
where's the fun? Where like our higher selves, like I had so many conversations with people and clients over the last couple of months where it's like, this is the message. It's like, you're not actually committed to yourself when it comes to just enjoying your life. Like one of the areas of life is passion, hobby. And that area of life is all about just doing something because you enjoy it, not because it's helping you in your career, not because it's helping you make money or anything like that. It's literally just because it's because you enjoy it. And even if it's something like going to a concert or going to a show or, you know, staying out late one night or something, like don't beat yourself up about it. Like,
Sure.
you know, because that'll show up and people will start to like reflect that back to you. And it's just, yeah, it's wild.
Y'all getting this? Okay.
It's because I've had to learn these hard lessons myself too.
And yep, and to experience what you experience, which I mean, I haven't, and with what happened to your family, and if you care to share, that just like, oh man, where was I going with that? Cut this out. Never mind.
That's great. No sweat. I got a question for you both.
Sure.
Okay, on the outside looking in, let's say we are the creators of Earth, for example, and we're looking at people. How do you describe, like, let's say we have the knowing, we have the understanding, we got it. How do you describe a blissful person?
Silly little humans.
A blissful person? Like truly blissful?
Yeah.
I would say like, I don't know if I can cuss on this podcast.
You can.
I mean, a blissful person would be someone who's truly unfuckwithable. And in my definition of that is just like, they are so embodied. They know that like, no matter what happens, they're good. They're so in like touch with themselves and the abundance around them that it's like, and no matter what life throws at them, like they know they're going to figure it out. They know that they're going to be okay. They're going to get to even better places because of even the challenges and all of that. And they're just in touch with everything that life is around them and within them.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw a dart on the board here. I think that we're programmed to tell ourselves that when we get things, when we accomplish things, then we are blissful. Mm-hmm. I think that's the story that we're told all over and over again. Does that sound right?
Culturally, and
yeah.
I think it depends on the culture because some cultures don't value things the way, I mean, Americans value things, and I mean, Middle East looks at things differently than people in Africa, than looks at people differently than people in Europe, and
yes, and I would veer to say that those other places that don't associate success with happiness and joy, etc., are in fact more happy.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. I mean, I've learned even in my own life, like the times where I kind of was like, I had the least and I was like starting my life over. I mean, 2 years ago, I was like the most grateful and the most happy. I was just like grateful to even breathe air, like to have a person smile at me when I was like really going through it. I was like, yay, yes, everything, right? That's the place we really want to be in no matter what. It's not the things, it's not the people. Well, of course, people are important and community is important, but it's not like all of these things that we think are tied to our happiness.
That external validation.
Yeah, it's really coming to a place of like, no, like, it sounds like the freaking guru sitting on top of the mountain, but
yeah,
really, I mean, it's not a lie. Like everything that we create in this world comes from us. And like, we have to remember that we are literally fragments of source. Like we are fragments of the creator, you know, how did source create all of this? Right. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like source didn't just have everything, right? It really came from that power of just coming from within and creating in that space.
Just put a sound effect there.
Boom.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's a shame that that's what we as people have curated. We've set this standard. It's a cultural norm.
Consume, and if you don't have the things, then you're nothing. You're nobody. Which I see people that live nomadically that are millionaires you never guessed that they were because of how they just humble they are, and then you have other people that have all maybe they're also millionaires and they're flashy and they're miserable and they're wanting more and more things and they need more and more things and they can't just be happy with what they have. Like, hey, it's like good, we're good here.
I'd also like to note that I don't think it's bad to desire wealth and to desire having amazing things in life. Like, I think like our souls really do come down here to experience all of that, right? And like the desire for wealth, is actually a really high frequency thing when we're desiring it from a place of wholeness because, money is value, right? And a lot of times, me, of course, like I would love to manifest more wealth and money because it's going to, give me more freedom, like I said before, and I'll be able to impact so many more people, and I want to like use that wealth to help the world and help my family and help so many things. But it's like at the end of the day, like where's the desire coming from? And like because money holds the frequency of value, it's like you need to be in touch with your own value, with your own worthiness. And when you're coming from that place, like again, you become kind of detached from needing other things. And then the things really come towards you. And then you're actually manifesting or creating them from this place of wholeness. So that even if you did get the money and then you lost it, it's not going to be like a big deal. And you're way less likely to lose it because you're not attached to it. It doesn't mean anything about you. That's the problem in this culture. We make things mean things about us. Nothing actually means anything about you at all. We personalize everything. And when we can get away from that place, like, and it's a practice, like I'm still learning this too. I'm not like some walking Jesus, but this is things that I've been learning on my journey. And just the way my life has gone is like, because I'm doing this work, like I've had to learn the really tough lessons of like losing things, losing relationships, losing money over, sometimes multiple times to like get it. That this is like, you don't actually need this. It's okay that you want this and you can have this. But once you start to like need it to fulfill some sort of void within yourself, like it's not going to work. And for some people, maybe it can work. Maybe they can hustle their whole life. Like I said, I've known several millionaires who have millions of dollars in the bank account, still have problems, still hustling.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say somebody finally wakes up. And they get it. Like, oh, wow, I don't need all this stuff. I don't need these things. I don't have to be this person. Whatever. What do they do next?
Live.
How?
Enjoy life. Because they're happy with what they have and where they're...
Are you sure? No? Just live.
Well, what do you mean? It would be dependent on the person, right? And what their own respective journey is. So if they wake up and they realize, oh, I don't need all of these things, and, they're ready for a life shift, well, it would be dependent on where their higher self wants to take them and what would be the next action steps. Like, I can't answer that as a general question,
Yeah, because everybody has their own thing going on. So you're saying live. Like, you can conduct the same activities. It's just that
you'll be more present with it. You'll be more here now, not
here
in the
now.
past, anxious or depressed, or focus on the future, which can cause anxiety, which is here. And if it gets taken away, you're like, okay, cool. And when it comes back or more comes, like, okay, cool. But you're still living.
So would you say that in order to quote unquote win life, it's the amount of time you spend in the present?
Yeah. 100%. That's
experiencing.
That's the key to life. Like we don't have any other moment than now.
Think of everything that had to happen just for this conversation to happen. Like shift one thing. Like maybe I didn't meet Dr. Nikki who invited me to JP's thing to then meet you through another person, and then we connect, and then I end up going to Burning Man meeting Courtney. We connect, and then all this happens to them for this to happen. Like, how awesome is all of those dots that had to connect, and all those choices that had to happen to get here? Which that means the choices your parents made, your grandparents made, your great grandparents. Like, it's all divine.
But choices are only happening in the now, right? So if you're sitting here, and this has been such a practice for me, you don't even know, because I am a future tripper. And my mind is always like here, there, and everywhere. And so, but it's like, what's it going to do? You're just, for one, if you're stressing over something or thinking about something in the past, like, for when the past is over, the future is up here, you're creating some scenario or freaking out about something that's probably not even going to happen. And the more you freak out about it, the more you're drawing yourself towards that reality anyway. And you're taking yourself away from the only thing that you actually have, which is now. Right? Like, if we really all just tune in to this present moment and get out of our thoughts, like, we wouldn't, like, the amount of peace and the amount of like bliss and openness that we would actually experience in this very present moment.
Right.
And imagine, I mean, how many times have you had somebody say, and this is for all of you too, we need to talk, or I got to talk to you about something. And all of a sudden, holy shit, what is it? Did I use something on? Are they upset with me? Did I piss them off? Am I in trouble? You know, depending on past traumas and whatever programming. To then find out, oh, like, actually, slightly happened when I was in Vegas recently for my hypnosis training. My friend AJ was doing the training, and he wanted to show me his weapons collection. And I thought I was, like, for a brief second, I'm like, my inner child, oh, am I in trouble? And then I had to, like, really check myself, like, wait, what am I in trouble for? I've shown up for this hypnosis training. I'm doing everything I'm being asked to and more because I've really fucking enjoyed it. And then he showed me, I was like, oh yeah, duh. Like, why did I do that to me? Like, even for that brief second, I was just like,
fear.
But I recognized it, and quickly enough, because of the help that I've gotten with all my coaches, healers, especially with Courtney. And like, no, like, just let's see what happens, you know, let's take the step forward, keep going. Okay, now we're in this. Okay, it wasn't anything like what I expected. And so how many times has that happened to you? You're creating these false narratives and potentially creating a false, this reality that you don't want because this fear comes up and you're just latching onto it. Like, let that shit go.
Yeah. You don't know.
And if you are in trouble, you fucking deal with it, you know, accountability and all that.
Yeah.
Well said. Thank you. It's time for a game.
Sure.
The box.
Oh, yeah.
What's in the box?
Oh, God. Did you create this game? I love it.
Yes, we've got some fun little questions. Ooh, Courtney? Just a couple.
Should I be scared?
No.
Use your intuition.
Use your intuition. You get to pick two.
Okay, I already see one. You're hiding it away.
Yep, so I was.
Okay.
You went for that
one.
one.
That one.
Take it. Yep.
Am I allowed to look?
Yes. What's your first card?
Play the long game with slow wins or short sprints with big reset. Or, sorry, would you rather play the long game with slow wins or short sprints with big resets? Oh, geez. Definitely the long game with slow wins.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just more sustainable. It is. Like, from what I've learned with energy and all the work that I've been doing is like having those slow wins means you're going to keep those wins. You're actually like building the skill set and the energetic foundation to be able to hold what it is that you're creating. Whereas when you're doing these short sprints and living on highs and lows and everything is always like pendulum swinging from one way to another, it's like that's the game where you're going to be like not be able to hold the things, you know? Right?
Wait, does this call me out?
I'm calling myself out too. Like, I've been there. Like, yeah. So that's my answer to that. I'd rather be able to like enjoy the journey and like keep the things that I'm creating and enjoy my wins.
Save
Savor it. Yeah.
You know, it's like when you put the syrup on a pancake. Isn't it just a little more fun when you kind of just drizzle it over on, instead of just going, yeah?
Would you like some pancakes with your syrup?
That's a word. Extra pancakes.
It's interesting. That question is so interesting because I feel like I've switched from that second half, the short, or the short sprints with big resets, and I'm stepping more into the long game with the slow wins. And that definitely, I had to thank Courtney for that, because bringing, like, I would tell her a scenario, and then she was like, wait, stop. You're not even savoring this person complimenting you, or this testimonial, or all these things. And I'm like, fuck, well, I'm not. Why? And it's, well, the training isn't there, that the workout wasn't there, because it was just, okay, cool, yeah, like my dad, a lot of it had to do with my dad, of just appeasing and pleasing, and like, okay, well, he didn't like, I didn't win my wrestling match, so then now I got to train harder and try to win the next one. Oh, he didn't even come, so now how do I get him to, and it's just like, and then not being okay with just, he was there, he showed up for that one, like, cool,
Yeah.
like, appreciate that, even if, I didn't get the reaction I wanted from him or desired at that time. So
Okay. The long game definitely teaches you to appreciate every moment, right? I think so many of us are like wanting to like go after the goal and have the thing, but it's just like we don't realize that the long game is composed of a lot of baby steps, right? And one of my favorite quotes is, yard by yard, life is hard. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. And so when you focus on the little inches, you start to realize those turn into strides. And then like the long game is just so beautiful because it's full of those things and you're really appreciating them. And if like we could really just focus for a moment on like how life is moving forward 1% every single day, like even if it's 1% better than yesterday, in 3.5 months, you're 100% better than where you were 3.5 months ago.
Facts.
True, right?
No printer.
and that's why you stay fired.
Sounds like a Gen Z. I love Gen Zers. Yeet.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't even know.
Bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited for this next question.
Oh yeah, dude, this one. Oh my God.
I want everybody to answer this one.
If aliens reviewed your life like Yelp, what would your top and worst reviews say?
That's a good one.
Oh my God, I really have to think about this.
Let's do it. Start with worst, and then shoot over to best. You got one? You got your worst? What would an alien say? What was your worst review?
Like, when they're saying reviews, is this like an event that happens in my life, or like what are the worst things I've ever done?
I think for me, they'd say, crazy driver, do not get in the backseat of the car, doesn't care about traffic lights. Freaking.
Go deeper. Don't be so shallow.
Oh, bro.
This is so funny.
No.
Mine would be worst review. Oh man.
Have I like made it to the level of self-love where I've like just been like every terrible thing I've done, I can see the good in it.
Those little lights come on.
The lights came on.
Your powers on that one was powerful.
It wasn't power. Yeah.
I would say, because I'm like, all the bad shit that I've done, I'm like, oh, but it was like, it served its purpose. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be, for me, just like the worst review would be stayed in his victim way fucking longer than he needed to.
Yeah.
And best review would be when he finally got out of his fucking way. Everything happened that he always wanted and more. You ever have something just, you pray on something or you meditate on something and you're just like, this is what I want, this is what I desire, and then it just comes in a way that's even better than what you expected?
That's intuition, right? That's like going beyond the limitations of our mind, because our mind literally can only see like 2 out of 10 of the 10 out of 10 experience.
Right.
And that's where intuition is driving you. So,
I want to hear yours, and then I want to share a story that happened.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I got it. If aliens reviewed my life, my worst review would be like, really, all the times you doubted yourself. Like, I mean, I know that's not like super deep, but like thinking back of like all those times where it's like, why did you, like, come on, like you can do better, like where I didn't see my worth and then I just like stayed in situations that were crappy, like and then my best
Star.
huh
1 star.
1 star.
1 star.
Seriously.
Wow.
0 stars.
Right.
And then my top review, oh my god, would probably be like right now, just going for it. Like all the times where I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna listen to my intuition, and I don't give a shit what happens. I'm gonna go for it. All those times where I like really transcend beyond fear.
I mean, in a way, as soon as you were sharing that, I thought about the military. Like, not many people say yes to doing something, and then when you do, you're like that 1% that actually like did it. And until you get out of your own way, oh man, where was I going with that? Then you can like to give up everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then knowing that it's just it can get better. It's gonna get better. You know, you don't need all that whatever. And you're gonna be that 1% that said, you know what, this is gonna be tough.
Yes.
But on the other side is greatness.
Yes.
Beauty is more bliss. Being that blissful human where you're unfuckwithable.
And when you like trust yourself and you're like doing it and you're like, I don't care, like I'm just going, like there's no better feeling like when you finally step beyond that like fear and you're like, I'm willing to risk it all just to really do what my soul wants to do. Like I could cry because I'm feeling that right now. It's just so amazing.
Yeah, and how many people can say they've given it all up? Or you know, the ones that maybe they didn't think they had the choice and it got taken away from them, which that's how people might perceive things. But then when you're at the bottom looking up, like when I had the gun in my hand and wanted to kill myself, I first then thought about, man, this is going to really fuck with my family. And then I thought about the ripple of what it's going to do and what I miss out on. And then I just was like, holy fuck, like there's so much to live for. Like you're down here. It's like this pyramid upside down, you know, that you have right there. It's like there's so much you can live for. And there's so much out there, and there's so much that you don't know about yet. You know, if one of my family members would have taken their life when they did, they never would have had their child. They wouldn't be meeting now my other family members about to have a child that they wouldn't have met them. They never would have seen all the things that they've seen. They never would have met their partner, you know, like that's crazy. You know, it's wild. And then like glad that didn't happen because now they have an amazing life, better than where they were when they were way younger, thinking, very short term.
Like in the short term rather than like the long vision. Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Wow. Mike, my mind's like just going all different directions right now. It's great. I'm asking myself, where's my soul? What does my soul want now?
So I've asked Courtney.
Smart clapper.
He's trying to just
Yeah, you know, I remember asking myself what my soul wants. Remember, like verbatim like that. It's a very interesting question.
Do you want to ask?
I'm going to chew on that for a little while. You know, it's interesting because this past Sunday, I think that I tapped into that a little bit. I kept having these visions. It's actually vulnerable for me to talk about because it would require a massive shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you're right in alignment with what your soul wants if it's going to require that.
Oh God. Scary. Okay. Good to know.
But does it, at the end of the day, like, does it really bring you joy? Does it bring you, like, you just know? Mm-hmm. There's this feeling of expansiveness.
Mm-hmm. It's like safety. It's comfortable. It's juicy. It's It's exciting. It's love. It's warm, bright. It's like the sunset on the ocean. It feels so good.
Yeah.
And you're not alone. You have tribe, you have people.
You got it.
You have all of them.
Yep. You just got to keep taking one step forward, one little step. Keep following that vision, those things that bring you joy. A lot of people will ask, well, what do our souls want? Like, how do I know what I want? And it's kind of like, well, what is the thing that brings you the most joy? Start following that. Then you'll get the answers.
Real joy, not
like fake, but like really what lights you up. Like when you think about life, you're just like, oh yes, that's it.
Okay. Thank you, and I will. Good to know. Oh man, wow.
I missed your event. I was upset. I wanted to be dressed up in all white at the park. Listen to some...
Out of all the events that I've ever hosted, I'm most proud of that one, which we'll talk about as soon as we close out here. Courtney, how do people get a hold of you?
How do people get a hold of me? So I would say right now the best place would be to get on my Instagram. It's Courtney, COURTNEY_unbound. If you have Instagram, I also have a free Telegram channel on the Telegram app called Life Unbound, where I have a community of people. I drop like audios, sometimes little podcast style things where I'm just talking about, I share my journey, but I also share a lot of really awesome teachings, on energetics, intuition, all kinds of stuff as I navigate my own crazy journey. And yeah, I have a website that's posted on my Instagram. If people don't have social media, they could always, I guess, email me.
Yeah, we'll get Gregor.
Yeah, you could contact me in multiple ways. But yeah, I would say that my Instagram has the most stuff right now. And then that Telegram channel is a really good place. Yeah.
Folks, make sure to reach out to Courtney, even just to say hello.
Yes, I love connecting with people, honestly. Like, please say hi to me anytime.
Especially if you're just feeling that, like, there's something interesting about her.
Yeah. No.
Follow that. Call her.
Follow your intuition.
Follow your
follow your gut.
nudges.
Follow your heart, even your mind. If it's like there's something about this person that I'm resonating with, or like maybe she can help me. She's your person.
And even if you just want to connect, like, no pressure. Like, I love connecting with people and just seeing where they're at in their journeys. And yeah, community and people just makes me so happy. So,
amen. Well, folks, you heard it here first. My name is Greg Carlson, your host of the Elite League podcast. Courtney, you are definitely an expert, and you are here on a mission. You're here to light up the world, to make an impact, to change people. Yes, nothing makes me happier, and to just show people that everything, you can live a limitless life. This is called the Elite League podcast because our guests are elite. Courtney, that is you. Most importantly, everybody, stay fired up. Till next time, we'll see you later.
And Gabriel Maldonado. I love you all.
Gabriel does love you.